Okay, let's talk about books. We are finally back after a little week hiatus. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about books. I think we have lots to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
I know our DMs have been on fire back
Popping
and forth
off.
with all books and bookish content. So I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot to discuss today.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't even know where to start. Let's just talk about what have you been reading lately?
Okay, so I just finished the Poppy War series
I saw
and
that.
it changed my life. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It was so good. I gave every book 5 stars. All three of the books, 5 stars.
And how rare is that in a series? Like, especially like a three-book series, I feel like there's always gonna be like one kind of dud, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of second book syndrome, I think, in like trilogies, and that didn't happen.
I don't know. I honestly can't think of the last series, besides like a duology maybe, that I rated all of them 5 stars because I think there's at least most of my favorite series, there's at least like a 4 star in there, you know? Even Throne of Glass, I rated Tower of Dawn pretty low. And I
That one
think,
had to happen. I think we all agree there.
but yeah, okay. So the Poppy War was just like, I'll be honest, it's not an easy read. It's not an easy read at all. There's a lot of names, a lot of places. There's a lot to remember. And it's all based off 18th century China. So like it's a lot of like long names and like it's not easy for me,
And it's
but
probably really lore heavy too, right?
super lore heavy. You got to learn like the politics. There's different like provinces. There's a whole political hierarchy, and it's literally based off of war. So it's just like strategy. And I feel like I was just in awe the whole time reading it. And the first book is my favorite, but all of them were so good, and they all kind of brought a different thing to the trilogy. And I would love eventually when you read it to go and have a deep dive into all the books because I could just talk about it forever, but I'll try to keep it spoiler free for now. The first book, the main character, Rin, she is basically going to be like sold by her aunt into marriage, and she decides, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go marry some old man.
Fair.
So she decides to enlist in the army, but specifically an army college, essentially, to train to be in the army. And it's like a big thing, it's a big ordeal, and it's not easy, it's a whole journey. Eventually she goes, and like this is all in the first chapter, so this is not a spoiler.
Okay.
She goes to this place and trains, and yeah, it's a whirlwind from there. But it just had everything I like in a series. It had a really inspiring and like powerful but also vulnerable main character. Not a pick me, super not a pick me. Um and I feel like RF Kuang, she writes the most like in-depth characters, and the character arcs in this book, not just by the main character, but like all the side characters were elite. You would love it.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
I was slowly watching your Goodreads for the last like what week and a half, and I was
Hmm.
just watching like another one, another one, another one, and I was like, that's when you know. I was like, got to get on this series like immediately.
I was eating it up. I think I did the whole series in a month because I did 1 week for the first two books and then 2 weeks for the last one because I honestly was kind of trying to like stretch it out. I was like, I don't want this to end. It's so good.
That's when you know. That's when you know.
So now I need to get the box set because I read them all on Kindle and I need to actually own them as trophies.
That's when you know it's good when you read them and you just have to own them physically.
Yeah. But as I said, honestly, read it when you're ready. Don't force it because it is an emotionally heavy book and just like lore heavy. It's very sad. I won't lie. It's about war and it's very real. She doesn't romanticize war. Like she makes it very, very clear that it's not something to be like like it's not romanticized. It's not idealized. It's this terrible thing that really has no winners. And it was just a beautiful story of like ambition and the cost of success. And I just
Well
it was
put.
so good. It was so good. I can't wait for you to read it.
Oh, yeah. It's getting bumped up the list for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that was what I've been reading. Since then, I haven't finished another book, but I started Divine Rivals. which
Finally! It's so good. And I think I'm actually considering doing a reread because I haven't read the second one. And I feel like I put it off too long. I kind of want the story fresh in my mind. So maybe that could be something we could talk about
mhm,
in then a couple episodes.
I would love to. I'm done the first part, and I think that's like a third of the way in. It's interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm like waiting for the hook. I want to
Yeah,
see what's happening, you know?
it's definitely like a slow beginning, and I think because it's something so different you probably never really read before that
Hmm.
it takes a while to kind of get the hang of like what's going on, what's the system here, and it's so interesting that it has kind of it's like a fantasy with like a vintage like historical twist to
Yeah, it's very real,
it.
but also it like they just talk about like the gods like casually, and I'm like, oh, is
I
this a
know,
fantasy? I don't
yeah,
know.
and they're nice and short too,
Yeah.
so I think you could probably blow through it pretty quickly, and I really hope you enjoy it.
I mean, I'm invested. I'm gonna keep reading it. I like I said, I feel like it's a lot of build up right now, and I'm waiting for like the real hook of the story. But I'm interested. I'm excited to see where we're going. I like the characters so far, so yeah, I'll stay. We'll stay tuned.
I can't wait to hear your opinions.
What have you been reading?
I just finished a couple books actually. I can't remember where we kind of wrapped up last time, but currently I'm reading From When the Moon Hatched.
I saw that. I think I commented on your thing
I'm like,
like finally.
finally!
I'm so excited.
I wasn't planning on reading it, and then all of a sudden I just like grabbed it from my shelf. I was looking, trying to figure out what I wanted to read next. I just read a fantasy called Spellcaster.
Hmm.
Not really popular on any social medias, which I've seen, but it's basically kind of like a adult like Hogwarts. It's like college Hogwarts
Hmm.
basically. There's a little spice in there. Everyone kind of has like their own kind of affinities. So you're either like earth magic or a spellcaster, or you kind of have like more affinities. And it was fine.
Okay. Yeah.
It felt like something that belonged on Kindle Unlimited, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, really need something good after that. Like it wasn't bad, it was just not my favorite. And I was going to read a romance. Actually, I was going to do Part of Your World.
Oh.
And then for some reason, I was just holding When the Moon Hatched in my hands, and I was like, I think I need to do it. And holy shit,
Do you like it so far?
I'm loving it.
Okay, good. I'm
I'm
so happy.
I'm probably like about 200 pages in. And at first, like it's a very new like magic system, and it
Hmm.
takes a while to get into and kind of trying to figure out
Also
all of
confusing at the
yeah,
beginning.
I think it's because everyone has like abilities to like hear different gods, and it's kind of like trying to organize that bit. And then we're like the dragons and everything come in, and like why some are like stone, and
Yeah.
it's a lot. You're trying to figure everything out, but it's so
And
good.
there's like the present and like the letters and stuff, so it's like it's confusing. And I remember I was like, what is this at
But
first?
I like can't put it down. I'm like eating it up. Like I have not felt this way about a book in a really long time, where it's like in my thoughts constantly.
I'm so excited. Maybe I'll read it soon because I've been wanting to do a reread for the sequel, and then we can talk about it.
Plus, the sequel is coming out
Hmm.
really soon. So I
Hmm.
was like, I think I need to get on this because I
Hmm.
know me, and I know I'm just going to buy the sequel before even reading the first one because that's my toxic trait.
Hmm.
So I decided to read it. I'm having so much fun with it.
Well, it only gets better, so I'm really excited that you like it so far.
And I'm
And
like, what,
I'm pumped.
30% of the way? And I'm already like trying to make it my whole personality.
Hell yeah, I'm excited. Oh, I know. I saw that on Goodreads and I was hyped.
Yeah.
So that's what we're currently reading. Oh, actually, I was curious what your thoughts were on Deep End fully. Like, I remember it was our book club pick, and I did not make it to book
Yeah.
club. So I was just curious what your thoughts on it were.
I feel like we're going to be two sides of a coin on this because I feel like I'm really not a harsh critic on romances. Like, I
Yeah.
know like lots of tropes give people like the ick, and they're like, oh, I hate this and this, but I think I just like read a romance for what it is. I'm like the least hard judge of a romance. So I really liked it.
Hmm.
I liked the college kind of like athlete perspective. I also loved that she was still like a very smart like student and really into sciences, and that kind of ties in with like Allie Hazelwood's like women in STEM kind of theme that she has through all her books, which I really liked. um I liked the two main characters. I liked their kind of like their energy. Less spicy than I thought it was going to be, because I know it was supposed to be kind of BDSM like heavy, or at least
Mhm.
it's like a hard push for the plot. And it was pretty vanilla, I think, for considering.
I actually totally agree. I was like, when as soon as they like started saying they both had BDSM kinks, I was like, this is gonna be freaky. This is gonna be dirty. And I was like, at the end of it, I was like, they do not have BDSM kinks.
Arguably, that was the most vanilla book that I've read for a BDSM king. But
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. I know probably there's some like plot holes and it can be like problematic at some point, but I just enjoyed it for what it was and I liked it. And I think I rated it like maybe like 4.5 stars.
Mhm. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wouldn't say I like loved it or I didn't dislike it though. I just thought it was like a good little romance.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree about the BDSM thing. I was like, that was not kinky. And then
Where's the ball gags?
yeah,
Like, where's the rope?
and like I was fine with it not being that. Like I didn't really care, but I was just like, it's funny that they're like that's like the shtick, and then it's just not.
They're
But
like, here's a whole list of saucy things that we're not going to do in this book.
my favorite thing though about the book was that the whole time, I know that it doesn't even match the character description or even his cultural background, but I just was picturing Ilya Rozanov the whole time
Yep.
from Heated Rivalry because I was like, oh, accent, European man. And I know he's
Blonde.
like all dark and stormy in the book, but in my head he has curls and was like
Me
fair.
too. Yeah, no, for real. Like blue eyes, blonde hair, like
Yeah,
Scandinavian.
which I liked because I just got to experience some more Ilya Rozanov content, and I like that. Oh, Penn, the opposing woman, the
Her
woman, the
friend.
ex girlfriend, who's also the friend. I was like, problematic girl. Like, so she's pushing her friends to be together, and then gets mad when they do.
Yeah, that really gave me, I think that's what docked it like half a star for me too. I don't want to put any spoilers in this one, but yeah, just like she was like a total girl's girl and then she wasn't a girl's girl and then she went back to being a girl's
Yeah,
girl and I was like,
I'm glad we had the evolution and we got the character arc, but yeah, I was like, girl, be fucking for real. But anyway, yeah, I didn't dislike it. I thought it was a fine romance.
honestly, I thought you're gonna have a way harsher review of Deep End.
And you know what? I read it actually mid the second Poppy War. I was like reading both of the books,
As a
and it was kind of
cleanser.
nice because when I felt like, actually like getting into the lore of a book, I was reading Poppy War, and then when I wanted just like a nice easy read,
Like
I opened Deep
little
End.
sorbet, a little
Exactly.
palate
Yeah.
cleanser.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
love that.
I think it was actually one of Ali Hazelwood's best books that I have read by her.
Hmm.
Like I think I've read like almost I would say 90% of her books and I think that's probably one of my favorite aside from Bride.
Hmm. I feel like I actually have only read Bride other than Deep End. I want to read some more of them just to get a feel for her.
I think you would like her earlier books, like The Love Hypothesis.
Hmm.
I think it's really fun that these are like science heavy women in STEM and it's all about like them being like smart women in a male dominated field and kind of, you were that girl once too,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like
Women in STEM.
women in STEM, you're a science girly or you started off as a science girly. So I think you would enjoy them. They're
Oh.
not all, I think, 5-star reads, but definitely read The Love Hypothesis.
Today, we wanted to chat a little bit about some up and coming 2026 book announcement for releases because people are popping off right now. I don't know what's going on in the author world, if it's the Hunger Games right now for who can have the biggest rollout,
Yeah,
but
no, for real. And it was crazy because we had just made a carousel for our TikTok and social medias about what we were looking forward to for releases this year. And you and I were like, not much going on. Like, I don't know, like, there wasn't really anything I was super excited about.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, every single one of my favorite authors decides that they want to publish the book that I've been waiting years for.
Yep. I don't know what's going on if 2026 there's some big award, but I'm here for it. I'm very excited by all the announcements. Keep them coming, please. But I did take the liberty to just list a couple of them so that we could talk about them individually. But obviously the first one, the one that has taken the world by storm is
Mhm.
obviously ACOTAR 6 and 7
Yeah.
from Miss Sarah J. Maas on Call Her Daddy. Did you listen to the full podcast?
I've been seeing it in snippets on TikTok, but I haven't really gotten to watch the full thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like I've almost watched the full thing just with like For You page clips at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, I'd give it a listen. It's honestly it was a good podcast. But I feel like most of the important stuff was probably stitched on TikTok.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your theories, what you think they're going to be about, and why. Why do you think there's two books, not just one?
I feel like they're probably pretty closely connected. And I think she's taken so long at this point that she must have developed books at the same time for it to
Mm-hmm.
kind of like complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like, how long have I been waiting for a new book by now? Like years?
I think Silver Flames was in like
So it's
2021.
been a minute.
I could be
So
wrong, but I think it was around that
Miss
time.
SJM has had the time to write multiple books.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she's just been developing both at the same time and
Yeah.
they're
I on Call Her Daddy, she did say that the 6 and 7 were originally, I think, one book, but then she just said it was really, really long, and then she split it up into two, potentially three parts. So I don't know the conclusion of what the third book like status is, but she did kind of allude to an eighth book as well. But that was not an official release, but she kind of alluded to the fact that she wrote three or like
maybe
three
Miss Girl is
parts.
just being really mindful of her word count and
Mm-hmm.
she's just trying to get the
Yeah,
word count down on each book.
but I have a theory that I've held on to for a while that I think I'm finally ready to share. Wait a minute. You haven't read The Last Crescent City? I can't share it with you.
Oh, I ruined that.
Never mind.
You'll probably say it and there's a good chance I'll forget.
Did you read No, you read the second Crescent City.
Yeah, I've read everything else up into that one. I feel like I always have a really bad habit of like savoring the
Mm-hmm.
last book, waiting for it to be kind of close to the next release.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just want to hear it, despite
Can
me
I give
not.
you a minor spoiler? I don't
Yes,
think it's that
absolutely.
big of a
You know
deal.
what? There's a good chance I'm gonna forget it anyways. Please just say it. My goldfish brain, like the iCloud
Yeah.
storage is full up here. It's probably gonna get deleted.
And you know what? Even if you know this, I'm not going to tell you anything about what happens, just a little point. But I don't think it's that big of a crazy spoiler because you read the second Crescent City,
Yeah.
and you know that the ending of that there is an ACOTAR crossover.
Yes.
And you know that that is coming in the third book. So in the third book, Bryce comes across Azriel and Nesta. She has a little kind of plot with those two characters. Not real, like a couple other characters, but it's mostly Azriel and Nesta. And my theory is that Silver Flames was about Nesta. And so the next book is about Azriel because he was in Crescent City and he had kind of like that plot with Bryce. And so my theory is he is the main character of ACOTAR 6, potentially 7.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
wonder if the world has been screaming that Elaine is a wet blanket and Miss Sarah J. Maas finally listened.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe one of them is Elaine, but I just have I don't know, I've just thought that maybe he is the main character. Maybe it's from his POV because I feel like he's so secretive, you know? He's literally the is that not his position or
He's so
something? He's
elusive. Like
yeah.
and everyone's been wanting more. Like that's the man, the
Yeah.
tall, dark, and stormy that everyone wants to get to know better.
Yeah. I feel like he has lots to say. He's got a character progression, and they're also alluding to a love triangle between Elaine, him, and then also, oh gosh, what's her name? The girl that Nesta becomes friends with in Silver Flames.
Oh, the
I don't remember her name, unfortunately, but people online either ship like those two or him and Elaine. And so I have a feeling that one of the books is at least about him. And he is the main character. But I could be wrong. That's just my guess.
that's a really fun kind of conspiracy theory. Well, I guess not
Yeah.
conspiracy theory, but
And I think that because
yes.
he was the other main character in Silver Flames in The Last Crescent City, that it was like a foreshadowing of who's next.
Ooh, maybe.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what these ACOTAR books are about. I do have a little bit of a critique on it just because I think that ACOTAR has had not one but two clear endings, and I feel like just let it end. Let it end.
I agree. Did we talk about this not long ago where we just felt like The first 3 books could have just been like the series,
Mm-hmm.
like end stop.
Mm-hmm. I think that would have been like a 5-star series if it was just those three.
Yeah, get rid of the novella. Nessa's story was fine, and I know people like absolutely love it, but it was just like there's a lot of words,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of stairs,
A lot of stairs.
and I suffered for a lot of pages, and she never got her redemption arc for me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so 2 new SJM books. One in 2026, one early 2027. But that's gonna take the world by storm. But I would honestly just love for Sarah J. Maas to write a new series. I feel like that would be super exciting.
And like, look how well she has done with not one, not two, but 3
Mm-hmm.
really like well written, well loved series.
And you know, if she like releases a new series, it's gonna do well because she's
Yeah,
the biggest fantasy author in the world right now.
exactly. She could probably write like absolute dirt,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole world would buy it and probably eat it up.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So yeah, excited about that one. And then the next one that I had was RF Kuang is releasing Taipei Story. I hope I say that right. In
Mm-hmm.
September 8th, 2026. And just as I'm on my Rebecca train right now with the Poppy War, I'm just so obsessed with her. So I just was really excited about that release. I don't really know what it's about that much, but the cover looks so cute and I need to get it immediately. Pre-order,
Add to cart immediately.
add to cart, and we'll be reading Babel
I say
right away.
Babel. I've heard people say Babel.
Babel, but it's for our book club this month, which is really exciting. And I did not think it was going to get picked when I made that the option list.
And in book club, there was a lot of discussion whether people really wanted to read this or not.
Yeah.
But it was either like heavy historical fiction or like something that could be easier, but it has a large word count. Like that one has a lot of pages to it. So I don't know if that's going to deter people or not.
I'm really excited because we almost never read fantasy, and it is a sort of fantasy.
I think we read. Well, I guess we read Powerless for our book club, and I feel like that was a flop, and we never really returned to fantasy after that.
There's not a lot of fantasy lovers besides us in book club, and Ireland occasionally, but not really.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped about that. And then I also want to read Catabasis. I think that's the other one.
Yeah, the second one.
Really, really want to read that one too. So I'm just gonna read all of her books. I'm pumped.
Just collecting them all.
Then Stephanie Garber announced that she's releasing another book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. That one is September 29th. It's called The Mirror of Infinite Endings, which is interesting. This one, though, I think it's more of a bonus content type book. This one, I think it's more of a bonus content. I think it's called the Mirror of Infinite Endings because it's like alternate endings to the story.
Interesting.
Potentially. And I think it also has artwork in it as well. So it's like it's not really like gonna I think from what she said in the announcement, it's not really gonna like change the story, but it's just kind of like giving you more to love. So I'm excited because I like that series. So
I feel like she's really been like pushing out a lot of content recently too, because she just release Alchemy of Secrets?
Yes.
And then I feel like that wasn't far after all of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Like I know it's been slowly coming out, but I feel like the turnover is pretty high. Like I feel like she's doing about a book a year at this point.
Yeah. And then arguably the winner of the announcement rollout for books this year is Leigh Bardugo. First of all, we have the next Six of Crows book. It's called A Darker Shore After the Events of Six of Crows, and it's told through like letters, I think. So I think it's kind of similar, like bonus content.
Bonus content, kind of artsy.
Yeah. And I think from what I've gathered, it's kind of like a murder mystery.
Interesting.
I think there's 2 new characters that are like solving this mystery, but then you're also like reading content from the original characters, like Kaz and stuff, which I'm intrigued by that. Especially because I just read Six of Crows, I'm like
immediate buy.
Yeah, immediate buy. You're a Six of Crows lover, so I know that will be on your shelf.
Yep.
And then the final installment of Ninth House, it's called Deadbeat, and that's also in September 15th.
Which is crazy that an author can release so many books in the same span of time for different series.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I don't even know. Like, she must have had them just like locked and loaded and ready for a crazy year,
all these authors were just waiting for SJM to like launch her like release dates, and they were like, bet. And they're
Everyone's
like,
go, go, go.
all the publicists are like, now.
It's time. Release everything. Everything we
Everything we
have, put
have,
it out.
empty the stores.
Like, it's like SJM started this wave of we have to compete somehow, you know? And I still have to read the second Ninth House. I had mixed feelings about Ninth House. I didn't dislike it. I just think I didn't understand it properly. I think I missed something. But I did buy the second book, Hellbent, and I will be reading it so that I can finish off that series. V.E. Schwab announced that she's releasing the last installment in the Vicious series, Victorious.
Which is crazy. Okay, I thought it was done.
Mhm.
To be fair, I hadn't read the second one yet, and I'd been simmering on that first one, just the enjoyment of the first one for so long that I didn't realize that the series wasn't done yet. And had you read the first, like, had you read Vicious already?
I have not.
Not
I
yet?
own it. I've been waiting to read it. It has been calling to me. So I do think it's in the near future, but I just haven't picked it up yet. Mostly because I'm trying to like read what I have and not buy new books. And I feel like if I read the first one, I'm gonna want to buy the second book.
Yep.
So I'm trying to read my standalone books or the ones that are on my Kindle.
Yep. Clear the shelves.
Exactly.
And we have a lot of new content in the next year to get through.
Right?
Or a lot of stuff for me to like preemptively pre-order and buy and then have sit on my shelves for about a year and then get to.
It begs the question though, do I pre-order them as the hardcover, that's the first release, or do I wait until I get paperbacks to match most of my other books and the series?
The ultimate struggle of someone who loves books.
I feel like that's what I'll do with ACOTAR because I just like can't handle having the paperbacks of ACOTAR and then having like hardcover ones. So I think I'll wait for that at least, and then the other ones I don't know. We'll go off vibes.
That's fair.
We both read a book recently, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, we both recently just read Atmosphere, and I think it was my one of my first 5-star reads of the year. I think.
Yay!
After Reminders of Him, and it was stunning.
Hell yeah!
This just rejuvenated my love for her. The writing was so good. I thought like I generally enjoyed our main character. I loved the plot. I loved like the whole space atmosphere and the NASA and all that stuff too because I've never read anything like that before.
I agree. I actually feel like I learned a little bit about space in this one, a little bit about astronauts. Yeah, I gave it a 4 stars. I did really love it though. Like I was close to giving it 5. I was debating between 4 and 5, but I feel like I just I feel like it's a 5-star, I like no, it's a 5-star.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 4-star because I still really enjoyed it. I would absolutely recommend it to others. I thought that the beginning was like one of my favorite parts, like just like right off the bat we're like showing the high stakes and like what's going down. They're up in space and things are going wrong and someone dies and like it's just we're starting it off with a bang, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like it would have been a very different story if it would have been like, you know, told chronologically versus like showing what's going to happen and then how we got there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like you see what happens and then you're like, oh, all these rando people just died. Like, what's going on? And then you start to like learn to love them and their attachment. And then like as the book's going on, you're mourning them the whole time almost.
Totally. And you're just like cringing, like waiting to like get to the part where they're like gonna die and you're like,
yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. It's you're waiting for the jump scare.
Yeah. I really loved that, like that element of just like the stakes. You know the stakes from the very beginning. And I loved Vanessa. I think she was my favorite part of the book. I thought she was a really fun character, and I liked how she influenced our main character. I like their dynamic. I just like that, like, you know, Joan is like, you know, the quiet, reserved, introverted, kind of nerdy girl, and then she meets Vanessa, who's like essentially the bad boy as a girl. Yeah. And she just like is literally her sexual awakening and then like the love of her life. And I was just like, that was so cute.
I also really appreciate how seamlessly they come together. There's no like well, I guess there is like a little like fighting it a bit, and they're like, "Oh, should we be together?" Like we're
Yeah.
kind of beating around the bush here, but I just feel like when they actually got together, it was so seamlessly, and it was like they were meant to get be together the whole time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that the only thing I was mad at was how long it took for Joan to figure it out. Like she was so in denial for it for so long, which I get, it was like the time period also doesn't help that like it was not accepted to be
Yeah.
gay, and like she didn't also have has like she never had any experience with anyone, so she didn't know, and she didn't like she knew there was something that was missing in her life, but she didn't know that that was it or like what
Mm-hmm.
exactly it was. And I found like that was just a beautiful coming of age story of how she not only was like achieving her dreams of being an astronaut, but then she was also finding herself like in her sexual awakening and like just, yeah, just like coming into her own in like two very different ways, but like that complement each other really nicely.
Yeah.
You know? I loved that. And I really enjoyed like also her family element stuff and how she wasn't just like she was struggling in more than one ways, and like there
Yeah.
was all these things going on in her life that it was complicated, and like her
And
sister
then
and her
and the
niece.
yep, the niece, and then the sisters,
Yeah.
mans, and
Yep. Yeah. What do you think of the sister? What was your
oh, I wanted to like her, but I just didn't.
I know I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, single mom, she's kind of got screwed over, like, and she's just, she's having a tough time. But she was just not a good mom. But like
No.
also I think she knows that. The character knows that
She
she's not a good
embraced
mom.
that, I think, and
Yeah.
just like she was a selfish person, and she kind of was like had her woe is me
Mhm.
moments, and then like as soon as she got like that out, she took it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I really sympathized with like Joan, and I just felt bad like that she was taking on this responsibility of this child while also like trying to achieve her dreams and stuff. But I mean, I get it. Like I feel like if I was her, I would have done the same thing. Like you can't abandon her niece who like that's the most important person to her. And I don't know, I just also loved like the dynamic with like Vanessa and the niece. How she they were becoming friends and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I had a great time reading it, and I just loved the characters.
I really appreciate in Taylor Jenkins Reid's novels how she has such like a heavy historical context in the era that she's like writing in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so fun to get like that little blast from the past, that little like chunk of that decade, and she does
Mm-hmm.
it so well. Like there's never been like one of her books where I have like not been immersed and not felt like, is that right? Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes historical fiction is really hard to write because you have to be so accurate
Oh my goodness.
and
Yeah, I always
so
think about that.
conscious about what you're writing. And I think she just does it so well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's to say, I've never lived in the 80s, but it felt good to me.
Yeah, I think she has a lot of books that are like time pieces. There's Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah, and then it goes Daisy Jones in the Six, and then is it Malibu Rising? And they're
Yeah.
all in chronological order as well.
And Carrie Soto would also be a timepiece too, because she's in Malibu Rising. I mean, I don't know what year that book takes place in, but it's not present. I
They
don't
all
think.
progressively move up a decade,
Yeah,
and also some of the characters are actually like shown in other books, so they all
yeah.
kind of connect if you read them chronologically.
Was there any character overlaps in Atmosphere? I
See,
couldn't
I
find any.
haven't read any of her most recent ones, so I couldn't tell you.
Because I know that in Malibu Rising and Evelyn Hugo, there is definitely overlapping characters in like I forget his name. The dad in Malibu Rising is one of the husbands in Evelyn Hugo. Um, and then I've never read Days Jones and the Six, so I don't know about that one. And then I know that Carrie Sato is in Malibu Rising, and then she has her own book. So there's definitely crossovers. And I was trying to find crossovers in Atmosphere, but I again hadn't read the other one, so I wasn't
Yeah, I'm
sure.
not up to date enough to know,
Yeah.
and that kind of drove me a little crazy.
Yeah. I was crying when at the end when Vanessa was up in the spaceship alone, and Joan was like talking to her, and they were trying to communicate how much they loved each other without saying it out loud, and like but everyone in the room like knew what was happening, but they just
Yeah,
still couldn't say it, and I was like, that is so insane. Like, and it was so sad. I
it
honestly,
was.
my one take, maybe this is like like a hot take, but I kind of think that Vanessa should have died. Sorry,
Vanessa, no.
that's like a really skeptical opinion, but I just think that like that's where I thought it was going. I thought that she was going to, because
I thought she was
there's no
long
it
gone.
did not seem like the statistics of her getting out of that were there. And then when she did like manage to make it out, I was like, oh. Oh, okay.
And then it's like, book's done. And
I was like, I was happy that they get to like they'll have their happily ever after now. But I think, as you know, I kind of love an ending that's like
tragic,
a freaking knife to the heart. So I feel like that honestly may have been the 5-star for me if it was like this tragic, this epic tragedy. Like,
because someone didn't die, 4 stars.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a character flaw of my own, that I'm like, no, there has to be more sadness, even though there's already plenty of sadness.
Hey, that's a 5-star read when it moves you to your core,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And as you know, I love an emotional, like heavy ending. And with a little bit of hope, which I guess that wouldn't have been a lot of hope. And I feel like that would have been very, very devastating for Joan. So I'm glad that she didn't have to go through that. Mm-hmm. But that's where I thought it was going. When it didn't happen, I was like, oh, I'm happy, I guess.
Like, I guess that's fine. I was really hoping she was dead, but
I was so sad for all the people that did die, though. Like, just getting to know their characters when you know that they're already dead, I'm like, that's so messed up.
So impactful.
That is criminal, Taylor. That's a criminal offense to make me care about people after I know that they're already gonna die.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's almost worse than not knowing they're gonna die and caring about them. But
vicious.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Atmosphere?
Oh, I don't think so. I just loved it. It was like an overall good feeling. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I had been in a minor rut at that point. I think I finished the Caravel series maybe, and it just left me kind of like mopey.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know if I like that or not, and that's done. And so I really needed to pick me up after that, and that really helped me get through a book slump.
I love that. I love that for you. I think that for our Christmas book swap, I got another Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Maybe in Another Life. Got that one for the book swap. I kind of want to give that one a read because honestly, it looks like a quick read. So I feel like I could probably like bang it out pretty quick.
Good palate cleanser after reading all of the Poppy War series.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, other than that, I've read Malibu Rising and then Evelyn Hugo. So those are the Taylor Jenkins Reid books I've read. I've wanted to read Daisy Jones and the Six for so long. It just, at this point, it's become like a mythical part of my TBR. It's not even like a real book to read anymore. It's just like an ancient relic in my TBR.
Sometimes they sit for so long that they just like, how do you even like disturb its peace now? Like it's
But I feel like once I do eventually pick it up, it'll feel so good to get that off of the TBR.
Did you ever read or not read? Did you watch the series?
No, because I always thought, oh, I'll read the book first and then I'll watch it. I've seen clips on TikTok and stuff, but I have never seen it. Did you see it?
I only watched about half of it. Here's the thing about trying to watch shows with my boyfriend, we never finish them. It's just like the time constraints between our two schedules never work out. It's like Heated Rivalry. Why am I still on episode 2 after like a month?
Watch that show. Watch it. Just watch it.
I've been trying to fight for my life, getting through Tell Me Lies on top of that. Like it's just never ending.
Oh my gosh. See, and then me and my boyfriend just never actually watch shows together because we can never agree on the same show.
I think that's probably the best at this point because I let him pick a movie the other day and we watched the Goofy movie. And then I let him, he just didn't even ask me. He just put on the second Goofy movie the next day.
You know, that's like a couple months ago, 2 months ago. I was just chilling in bed and then Dom got out of the shower, came into the bedroom and was like, are you watching Cars right now?
It's like, babe, life is a highway.
Yes, I am watching Cars. I like Lightning McQueen. Sorry.
Ciao. Get out of here.
Yeah. It's a heartwarming movie with a great soundtrack and it's very inspiring. So
get out of here.
Sorry, I like racing now. I love a cartoon movie. It's just like it brings you back to simpler times. It grounds you.
It does ground you. And you know what? Sometimes you just need something low maintenance for the brain.
Right?
Or if I'm like violently ill or had too many glasses of wine, nothing resurrects me like a Disney animated motion picture.
I agree. Great hangover movies.
The amount of times I've been fighting for my life watching Inside Out. Where they also fight for their lives? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're reading right now When the Moon Hatched, and of course that's a chunky one, so it's gonna take you a little bit. But kind of what's on your next radar? What are you thinking about after?
I don't even know because I don't know how I'm gonna feel after finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Who am I gonna be after I finish that book? You know?
It's fair. I feel like you have a journey to go through, and you can't make too many decisions
And
yet.
sometimes I kind of have like an idea of what I really want to read up next, especially like when we talk about like buddy reading books. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
always like kind of like gotta read that next. It's like I have nothing lined up right now because
Yeah.
I do not know how I'm gonna feel after this book. Am I gonna need a romance palate cleanser? Am I going to need more fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I gonna be in like the kick now where I'm like more?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like a little fantasy
More
gremlin for a
fantasy.
bit. Like
I've kind of been on a fantasy little kick. I just like I'm loving the magic right now.
everything's been hitting so good.
Yeah. I Yes, I'm reading Divine Rivals. I'll probably end up reading the sequel not long after, just because the symmetry of it. Um, but then I don't know. I really, like I said, I've said this before, I really need to read A Little Life because I need to give it back to the person I borrowed it from. It's so intimidating. I feel like it's one of those books that's so talked about, and it's so, like I have such preconceived notions about it that I just like I'm scared. I'm scared to actually read it, you know? But I do want to read it because I feel like it's just one of those books that everyone's read and
Yeah.
everyone says absolutely read it, but just it's gonna kill you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe not like a it's not like a casual beach read, but
But I just read The Poppy War, which was really heavy, so I think I can do anything at this point.
I believe.
There was some scenes in The Poppy War that like I literally had to like close it for a little bit because I was like, that is the saddest thing I've ever read. Yeah, but like again, amazing series, but just it does not romanticize war. So
And you know what? I think that's important too
yeah.
because I think sometimes in the book talk community, um, there's a lot of fantasy that has a lot of war in it, but it can be kind of unrealistic for one.
Mm-hmm.
There is tragic parts, but I feel like fantasy has a way of being kind of like silly and witty when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like war and stuff too. There's always like the big brute that jokes all the time. And like there's like the gangly like group that like works together and they make jokes. They're like slash, cut. That was a close one. Like, whew,
Yeah.
you're like, watch your back. And next
Yeah.
time, like, you know, it's kind of like
Without spoiling anything, another thing I liked about this book series, or RF Kuang in general, is that she is not afraid to kill off a character.
damn,
She is not afraid. And
you've been
it's
warned.
devastating when it happens.
Oh,
But I can't say more than that. But I, yeah, absolutely loved it. It was awesome. But I will warn you, it has next to no romance. Like it's not a romance book. So
womp
just be warned.
womp.
But
I
honestly, I don't even think it needed it.
see when you said it was like a perfect, well-rounded book. I think that's on the
Yeah.
checklist.
Yeah. But there's not, it's complicated because I don't want to say anything too, that's going to spoil it for when you do read it. But there's not no romance. There's just, it's more of it's a different kind of romance almost.
Okay,
And there's,
I'll wait and
yeah,
see.
but it's so good.
I cannot wait.
One of my favorite series I've read in a long time. It's like I already think it's going to be maybe my top book of the year. If not in the top 3 for sure. 100%. But yeah, anything else you're reading or thinking about?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going with the vibes of when the moon hatched. And
Yeah.
I'm just really looking forward to all of those new releases.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'll say this that I'm thinking about getting back on my Cassandra Clare game.
I was thinking about it today.
Maybe not the Immortal Instruments per se, because I've read them quite a few times, but maybe her newest series I will probably read because I haven't finished that one. I think I only got to book 1 or 2. Just dip my toe back into the Shadowhunter water
Yeah.
and then really like get myself going for the next new series she's going to release.
Yeah, I honestly was thinking about that too. Today actually, I was thinking like I should really read is it Clockwork Angel first? I think that's the first one.
I think so.
whatever the Clockwork series. I've owned it for so long. It's time. I just got to do it. And yeah, I'm gonna try and
Do
put that
it.
close to the beginning of the line of the queue. I saw you pulled up Hark the Lover.
Yes. So I got this book for my birthday actually. So
Yay.
I was actually thinking of maybe since I should read something a little like not fantasy or romance
Hmm.
heavy and read something a little bit. Well, I mean, I know it's a love story. At least that's what it says. But it is something that's been on my radar and then I got it for my birthday, so I feel like that might be a sign that it has to be in like the top
Yeah.
5
I
at least.
think it's also a fairly quick read too. So I think,
Yeah, it's actually like this big,
yeah,
so I feel like I could probably crush it quickly. And
totally.
I feel like the people who have read it in our book club and like our circle have really liked it.
Hmm.
So I'm really motivated to read it shortly.
Well, tell me what you think because I'm intrigued by that one. So
Yeah.
let me know. Any closing remarks?
I'm so excited for this reading year.
Me too. I think we're off to a really good start.
Really good start. I think it kind of sloped a little bit when I was reading Caraval. I think I lost my spark, but I'm on the upward incline. And I think with all the releases coming out this
Hmm.
year, this cannot be
A
a
bad year.
better
Yeah.
reading year.
Yeah.
I think this couldn't not be bad.
I'm really proud of us because I think we've both been doing good on our promise to read books that we've been wanting to read, but we've just been putting off.
Yeah.
So proud of
Bringing
us.
bringing the spark and joy back into reading. Life's
Right?
too short not to read that book that you've been wanting to read forever.
Honestly, yeah. And I'm like, I've been loving the ones that I've been saving. So I got to keep it going.
And here we are with me with my big hefty When the Moon Hatched, and you put those books off because they're big.
Hmm.
I am flying through it.
Hmm.
So is it a big book? I don't know, because now I'm flying through it, and the reason I wasn't picking it up is because it's big, and
Yeah.
now I'm probably reading it faster than I will read Heart the Lover.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm so excited for next time when we get to talk about it. So
Ah!
hell yeah. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us again today. And see you next time on Let's Talk About Books. Bye.
Bye.